Welcome everyone to Side Draft and welcome to our review of the Cup Series race from Bristol. And man, we got a good one to talk about today. I really enjoyed this race from start to finish. It was really like classic Bristol.
Yeah, it's an incredible ending. Everybody's reckoning and who's going to win. I mean, that's a short track race and I liked it. I was real excited for it.
So before we talk about the finish and all that crazy stuff, let's rewind it back to lap 1, and Brad Keselowski, he's got to be the luckiest guy on this random draw stuff because he got the pole yet again.
Yeah, definitely so. Every time they did a random draw, Brad gets the pole. I mean, it's pretty awesome.
So Brad's got the racing gods on his side, especially with how the finish happened. But then we'll see at the beginning, the bottom, since we didn't have a lot of practice, or we really didn't have any.
They had no practice. No practice at Bristol. I mean, that is crazy. But I kind of like it. I mean, nobody knows what they got, and just go out there and race. And it's just like old school racing. Just go out there and just race.
It's kind of like a mystery box, but it's a car, and you're like, is this car going to be the best car on the racetrack, or am I going to be as fast as a tractor? So, you don't know.
I don't know if it makes the racing a little better because no practice.
Yeah, I think for these short tracks, that's something we need to look into, or they need to look into, is maybe reduce some practice. Maybe just have one 30-minute session or something like that. Or it'd be great if we could have none at all. But because of the trying to get pit road speeds and stuff, I think that's the only downside to that.
Yeah, just try to get the pit road speed and try to get the RPMs and everything set just right for coming out pit road so you don't speed. I mean, there's a lot of speeding penalties at Bristol. I mean, I guess they have to get everything adjusted just right before the race.
Yeah, a lot of drivers had some speeding tickets out there, but
slow down.
Slow down on pit road. You can go fast on the racetrack. But lap 8 would have our first caution. That went very fast. But it would be Ryan Newman. He just spun, nothing happened. He didn't really hit anything. He just got into the traction compound and went around.
Yeah, I believe he just got down towards the corner there. He's kind of spun around and didn't hit anything. And that's incredible that you don't hit anything at Bristol and nobody hit him. So good job.
Very small racetrack, and to not hit anything or hit anyone, really great job there. And then let's see, it would be Brad Keselowski and Ryan Blaney on the front row, and then we would see Martin Truex Jr. jump to second place, and this is important because we'd never really see him again. He just kind of faded and never.
Yeah, he hadn't really had the finishes or the speed this year really like he had been. I mean, I guess he really needs Cole Pern back.
yeah, like some races he'll be like the dominant guy, but someone would just show him up, like at the Coke 600. So
yeah, never count him out at the short tracks. I mean, later on he tends to get up towards the front. I mean, if he gets out in front, he's pretty much dominant. But he just really couldn't get there. He was just a little off today.
They would have a competition caution on lap 20. We would see multiple competition cautions. Still not sure what this is for. Maybe because short track, no practice, no qualifying, no nothing.
Yeah, they had like 2 competition cautions. They didn't really explain why they did that. And
then some leaders would stay out, and this would be where some people would try a little bit of strategy. Kind of early to start the strategy, but we'd see that this would play out into some of the drivers' favor here.
Yeah, because track positions is everything at Bristol, because it's very tough to get through the little bull ring right there, trying to get through everybody just to get to the front. So.
And then we would see Stenhouse and Blaney make some contact, but I think it made Blaney's car a little bit faster because of that.
Yeah, Blaney was trying to slow up for the lap car, and Stenhouse about plowed in right to him. Like, man, it's just a racing deal. I don't know where the lap car was going. Blaney just kind of come up to him too fast and had to let out the gas a little bit, and Ricky had nowhere to go.
Another competition caution, lap 60, and so I guess this is just for strategy reasons and to make sure, double check that your pit road speed is fine. But this is where it wasn't fine because Kyle Busch and Daniel Suarez were speeding on pit road. But, it's still early. That's fine.
you're going to hear a lot about that today. A lot of speeding.
lot about that. So then Matt DiBenedetto, he struggled early on, so he decided to stay out here, see what he does in the clean air. He did pretty well.
Yeah, he held his own pretty well with the older tires. He stayed in the top 10 right there. I picked him to win. I thought he was running good. I mean, Kopinski is strong at Bristol, and he's finished second here before, so I thought, man, it'd be pretty cool to see him win, but wasn't his day.
And then we'd see a battle between Ryan Blaney and Brad Keselowski. Blaney would get the lead with 42 to go, but then his best friend Chase Elliott shows up, takes it from him, goes on to win the stage.
Yeah. And Chase, he had an awesome car, and the Hendricks had just come through the field. I mean, Shelley's been fast this year. I mean, you look at Ricky, he was coming through the field, he's pretty fast. So, yeah, I mean, Chase, he's kind of like the leader of the Chevrolets right now.
So far, I mean, Alex Bowman is a close second, but Chase Elliott has been, leading, the past 4 races. Probably could have won the past 4 races.
Yeah, he's getting to be a pretty good racer. I mean, the road courses, now Charlotte, I mean, he pretty much dominated a lot of Charlotte. And now short tracks, I mean, he's getting good everywhere, so watch out.
A lot of short tracks in the playoffs this year, if nothing happens to the schedule with them, that is. But then Matt DiBenedetto, he would be too fast on pit road. So after all of that hard work, getting, I think, 6th.
Yep, he was 6th at the caution. He comes in, he speeds on pit road. Come on, man. You had a chance.
Yeah, I think that pretty much was his day. Never could recover from that.
Yeah, he got stuck back in traffic and we couldn't ever get through there.
Then Alex Bowman had a loose wheel. He'd have to make a second stop, so that put him in the back. And then we'll see another great battle between Keselowski and Ryan Blaney. That seems to be a theme at Bristol, them two up front.
Yeah, they pretty much dominate the beginning of the race, and Blaney, he's good at Bristol.
Yeah, he just can never get the luck because...
Just get these lap cars out of his way.
Well, we'd have another caution with the 51 of Joey Gase. And then we'd have another one with Bailey Curry. I think he was just stopped on the racetrack, couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, they went green and then threw the caution out again because he was just sitting on the track. So, not sure what happened to his car.
Yeah, a rough day for those cars there. But then we'd have a... Well, actually, before that would be where Ryan Blaney would spin.
Yeah, he kind of jumped the cushion up there and got in the loose stuff and spun around. Saved it. I mean, he really didn't get much damage when he hit the wall. Thought he saved it.
He saved it. Did a good job saving it. He was trying to catch his teammate Brad Keselowski for the lead, and just put a little bit too much into it there. Spun it around, saved it, and then it looked like Ty Dillon was just going to stop and let everybody just go on. But
he should have. He should have stopped. I mean, I think he thought Blaney was going to come down to the bottom of the track, but Blaney, being a smart guy, he held the brake and stayed at the top side where everybody can go through, and Ty Dillon wasn't as smart.
Yeah, he just kind of... I mean, he had a good shot at missing Blaney anyway, because he was going slow enough, and he just decides, hey, I'm just going to plow into him.
I was just going to take the whole front of your car off. I mean, come on, man.
So that was unfortunate. I think Blaney could have battled back to maybe even win this race. Awesome save, but it was all for nothing. So,
yeah, once again, Blaney had a great car, probably one of the dominant cars, and he gets wrecked out again.
So
yeah, Bristol.
We will be coming back to Bristol in the playoffs. So maybe Blaney can get some Bristol redemption.
Yeah, I mean, he just got some bad luck at Bristol. I mean, 2018, he was leading the race, and then these lap cars just crash in front of him, takes him out when he's the leader. It's like, wow.
So yeah, that's unfortunate. And then later on in the stage would have another crash, but this one would be huge. It was involving, it all started with Matt Kenseth. He just kind of got loose.
He got really loose and slowed up a ton up on the top side there.
And then that allowed Stenhouse to catch up to him very quickly. Had to get on the brakes. Jimmy Johnson, quick reaction, accidentally turned Stenhouse, and then...
It's just a racing deal, and Jimmy got in the back end of him. Ricky goes around. And it hits the inside wall, goes up the track, and collects a lot of cars.
Yeah, that would be including Cole Custer, Alex Bowman, which probably wouldn't have been there if he didn't have to make that second stop.
Yeah.
Then Tyler Reddick, which was unfortunate. Was looking forward to seeing what he could do today. Kurt Busch, hard hit for him, but great rebound from him.
Yeah, I thought Kurt was going to make it through, but he got some side damage and got put in the wall, and he had a good finish, top 10.
And then Matt DiBenedetto and Ryan Preece went spinning. I think this started with Bubba Wallace. He just kind of helped Ryan Preece there a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think Matt DiBenedetto got a whole lot of damage on his car. I mean, he just kind of controlled spin. I didn't really see a whole lot of damage on his car, but I believe he would pit a few times and eventually get a lap down. So
Yeah, so unfortunately your pick did not do so well today, but maybe next week at Atlanta we can finally win a Cup Series race on Fast Picks. We'll have another caution for Ryan Preece. I believe he just kind of tapped the wall a little bit, and that was a caution. So
I don't understand some of these cautions. Sometimes the guy would hit the wall and throw a caution. Sometimes they hit the wall when they didn't. So
sometimes cars can, violently hit the wall and
it's like,
no caution.
well, you just flip a coin or what? I mean, it's just
It's like, yep, caution. Throw it.
caution. Let's go ahead and throw it. Why not?
So we'd have a battle between Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin, but ultimately Chase Elliott would go on to win stage 2. So Chase Elliott's getting pretty good at winning these stages, getting some playoff points. That could help him later on in the playoffs.
Cash on his dominance here at Bristol.
Because when you get the fast cars, you're going to have to take advantage, because you never know when Joe Gibbs is going to, turn the heat up, or Haas, or now it looks like Penske's starting to really heat it up now with Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams just they're just getting closer and closer, and one of them's getting ready to take off.
And then stage 3, this would be where we'd see some strategy out of the Gibbs drivers. Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch would stay out. I think Kyle Busch had a decent car, just not really as fast as some of the Hendrick guys, as Chase Elliott and Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how the older tires going to be with them, and if they could hold their own, but Kyle Busch got in the clean air and he's pretty much checked out then.
And I believe Kyle Busch has led the most laps in this race than he has the entire rest of the season. So
wow,
that is crazy to think about. That Kyle just hasn't had the year that he's had the past, a long time. So
yeah, I mean, you go back last year, he led a ton of laps.
And it's not that he's just not winning; it's just he's not really contending for wins right now. So today he was close to getting that win, locking himself into playoffs, and not having to worry about that, but came just short today.
Yeah, the win's going to come. I mean, I believe Joe Gibbs will catch up, and they want to dominate again sometime.
Towards the end, I'd say somewhere in the summer months.
I think they're just like slowly sneaking around, and all of a sudden they're going to take off.
I mean, Denny Hamlin, he won Darlington because of strategy and rain, and then the Daytona 500, he got really lucky with that unfortunate crash. So if it wasn't for those two instances, they wouldn't even be in victory lane at all this season.
Not.
So they're really good at playing the strategy game and being there towards the end. But then we'd see another caution with Chris Buescher, another in the wall, and somehow that's a caution, but the one later in the race wasn't. So anyway, it'd still be Denny Hamlin versus Kyle Busch. But Kyle Busch would take the lead from Hamlin here, and he would be blasting off again.
Yeah, he just rocket shipped and took off.
So no one could really touch him. This would be where Matt DiBenedetto would go to pit road, and
yeah, he broke something on the suspension, went to the garage, and I think he ended up like 43 laps down, but did finish the race.
And then we'll see a caution with Austin Dillon. He just got really slow. Then that would be a caution.
Yeah, I believe he cut a tire or something. I mean, usually I don't understand these cautions sometimes. Just just drive slow and they'll throw a caution for you. So
Well, Bristol is
I think he's
very
trying.
fast
I think
paced.
he's trying to get down to the pit road and Bristol. It's kind of like
you just couldn't really
rush hour traffic somewhere, trying to just pull out. And
you couldn't really merge to go to the pit lane. So.
I got my signal on.
Yeah, so no one really let him in, so they just threw the cautions just so he wouldn't get into a scary crash going that slow around the racetrack. So that one I can kind of say, yeah, that deserved to be one. Then Kyle Busch will lead off pit road, but then we'd see more speeding penalties out of pretty much almost everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's when Brad knew was.
Yeah, that would be Joey Logano, Bubba Wallace, Austin Dillon, and Brad Keselowski. Brad and Joey, they were up front almost all day. Bubba was having a good run at that point.
Yeah.
And then
top 10.
It's crazy. All three of them made their way back up. And then Austin Dillon, I'm not too sure where he finished. But
he finished top 10.
Top 10. So yeah, all four of them did.
6 or something.
So then it'd be Kyle Busch versus Denny Hamlin again. But this time, Denny Hamlin would get the lead on the restart.
Yep.
And then we thought, okay, it's going to be Hamlin's day. He's going to get another win. No one can touch him. But then we'd have a 4-way battle for this lead.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Johnson was fast right here. I'm like, come on, Jimmy, come on, let's get one more, come on. But, I mean, I believe he was faster than the leaders. He just couldn't get through the track position to get to him.
Yeah, it's like with Bristol, you can have the fastest car, and then all these cautions just go the wrong way for you, and you get shuffled back on the wrong lane, and then you lose more spots, and as the more cautions come out, you get it. So
yeah, I mean, once you catch the leader, then you got lap traffic to deal with, and then trying to pass the leader, and then the caution comes out, you get put on the bottom, then you get shuffled to the further back, and man, I'd like to see him at least win one more before the season's over.
Yeah, me too. I was really rooting for him at that point. Was really hoping he'd get it done, but there's always the rest of the races. So I think he's definitely going to get it though.
I mean, he's running really good lately, and he's just got to get these finishes, and he's due for a win yet.
Then before Jimmy Johnson could get around Kyle Busch, Kyle Busch eventually got around Hamlin. And then Jimmy was really close, but before he could have a caution with Kevin Harvick and Eric Jones, and again that was somehow a caution. And
yeah, I ain't real sure. I mean, I know him and Jones got into it, and Harvick went towards the top of the track, but I didn't really see a whole lot why.
Yeah, that was during commercials, so we didn't really know everything that happened, but I still think that could have not have been a caution.
I guess they just wanted to bust the field back up. Let's restart.
Yeah, well, I didn't like that one. Let's run it again. So then Denny Hamlin would win the race off pit road. Christopher Bell, he was having a great day. Uncontrolled tire.
Yeah, man, he had an awesome car running the top 10. I mean, it really surprised me how well he ran and missed a lot of wrecks. And I think he really could have had a contention to win this race, but here once again, the pit road done beat him.
And then we'd see Denny Hamlin versus Jimmy Johnson. Denny Hamlin would take the lead, but then Chase Elliott would get to the lead eventually, but would have another caution.
Yeah, kind of like, who's in the lead at this point? But they get Denny because of the time loop.
Yeah, so Chase just passed Denny Hamlin for the lead, and then the time loop kind of messed him up there. But he had another shot at it.
Yeah, Chase says, what I got to do? Just get the lead here.
And then so Denny Hamlin would lead again, and then shortly after that would have a caution with Martin Truex Jr. and Eric Almirola. And I think this was because of Keselowski and Bubba Wallace aggressively pushing Eric Almirola.
Yeah, I mean, they said, we got to go, man. And just pushed Eric Almirola, and he went up and bumped Truex, and he went around. So pretty much that was his day.
Yeah, Truex was on the verge of making a comeback and maybe even winning the race.
This is all drivers up in the top 10, so man, it's just like, it's go time.
Yeah, so unfortunate the end to their days. I'm not sure if they got back out there, but a lot of damage on Truex, so unfortunate. But then we'd see another restart. This would be Denny Hamlin versus Joey Logano on the restart. And then Denny Hamlin would lead. And then Chase Elliott and Joey Logano would eventually catch him. And then Logano makes the pass. Didn't like this dive bomb thing, but Chase Elliott got the idea to do that as well. Then Chase kind of drifted up, and then Logano got loose. And then messed Denny Hamlin up, and then Denny Hamlin spun. So
yeah, because Denny, I ain't sure if he just jumped the cushion or something, but something happened. He slowed up a ton. It caused Logano to pass him, and Logano, he had a whole lot of speed, and with Chase on his tail, he just kind of got loose and went up to the wall too. And I don't know if he thought Chase might have bumped him or hit him or something, but I didn't see him hit him. It was just a close racing, and yeah, Denny went around and somebody just knocking at his door too.
So we was thinking, these 4 drivers up front, Logano, Joey, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, and all of them, they were, in the hunt for this win. Yeah. And then you didn't think about Brad Keselowski at all.
See, he got some tires on the caution before, and the announcer was like, "Why would you get tires now for? If you just want to get a better finish." And that's what he did, because he was coming through the field. He was pretty quick, and he was catching the leaders. And here he gets a chance to, get a little closer to the leaders. And I thought, well, Kyle Busch up there, what he gonna do?
Yeah, so on the final restart, Keselowski started on the high side, I believe 4th. And so that was a real advantage for him.
Yes.
So he was able to get to 3rd. And then it would be Logano and Chase. And I thought, Chase was just going to run away with it. Not enough laps. I believe 6 laps to go. But Logano showed some real impressive speed.
He has some really strong short run speed, and man, he was just driving the wheels off that car. And
yes, he was. And
but Chase wasn't giving up. He was going after it too.
And when 2 guys want this one little space, the lead, and sometimes it doesn't necessarily work out all too well. And in this case, it worked out.
Yeah,
Did not work out at all.
Chase tried the high side. It wasn't real fast, and then he tried to jump on the inside. Got right beside Logano and lost it. The car just wouldn't grip, and up the track they go and into the wall, and no caution. I don't understand it. No caution here.
They were like on the wall the entire rest of the race,
beating and banging the wall and just trying to get free, but no caution. And here comes Brad. He just comes shooting through there and takes over.
And then behind Brad was Clint Boyer.
Where did Clint come from? Like, wow.
So, Clint hasn't had a good race, even including all of the iRacing races. He's had a tough time. And finally, he gets some luck on his side, and Boyer finishes 2nd, while Keselowski, with great strategy from, I don't know if it was his idea or Jeremy Boland's, but whoever it was, probably one of the smartest people in NASCAR ever, because that was awesome.
I don't know if Brad's making Jeremy Boland look good or what, but here, 2 wins in 2 weeks.
Yeah, so
wow.
Last Sunday he won.
Back-to-back Sunday wins. So. Yeah,
it's kind of hard to get used to the whole. Thursday was the last race.
Yeah, it's like a lot of racing this past week, and it's like, let's see, what is it? Oh, it was Sunday. Yeah.
So really enjoyed this race. Awesome finish, unexpected finish.
Yeah, definitely so. And Bubba Wallace finished 10th. How awesome is that?
Yeah, a lot of drivers had a rough day. Finished inside the top 10. I believe Kurt Busch finished what, 7th? So.
Yeah, Kevin Hart, the streak is broken for top 10s, but he did finish 11th. So
after hitting the wall,
so he ain't far out of the top 10. I mean, it's just he didn't get the finish he wanted, but it's still a good day.
So when it comes to this championship this season, I know it's really early to think about it, but we got a lot of contenders for it. You got just about everybody at Penske, and a lot of the guys at Hendrick, like I think Chase Elliott and Bowman are the top dogs there. Jimmy's slowly getting there, and then William Byron as well. You can't count him out. Then you got Harvick, and then I believe Denny Hamlin's the top dog at Gibbs. So only 4 can get the final 4. So
man, it's gonna be an interesting championship this year. Don't know who's gonna be in it so far. Man, it's just very exciting. Looking at some more good racing coming up. And wow.
Yeah, we got Atlanta next.
Atlanta next. And then Martinsville's coming up in a couple weeks.
Oh, man.
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday night.
On Wednesday night. Wow.
This is going to be an insane couple of weeks. It's like Darlington got 2 races. Charlotte got 2 races. Where's my second Bristol race? Where's it at?
I know it. Where's it at? We need it.
Come on, one more change in the schedule. Just make one on Wednesday. You can do it. There's one more cup race, please.
Who'd like to see a Wednesday Bristol race?
Yeah, let us know in the comments down below if you want to see a Wednesday Bristol race. I know I would.
Yeah, definitely so. I like to see tempers flaring under the lights, and a lot of drivers like to have a rematch.
But don't worry, all of you that love Bristol, pretty much everybody, so aside from maybe Elliott and Logano fans right now, but we have another Bristol race coming up in the playoffs. One of the first, I believe it's in the first round. So, and of course, it being in the playoffs, I mean, this had a lot of intensity in it, and this was just for regular season win. What are they going to do in the playoffs?
I don't know. But this is an incredible finish, and I really like Chase and Joy really going after it. Not just like, well, he's a little faster than me, and my car's tight or loose. I mean, just go for it. I mean, it's short track, and that's what we like to see. I made an awesome race.
That's the racing finish I've been craving for this whole entire season.
Yeah, that's what NASCAR needs.
We've had a whole lot of good races this season, but we haven't had like a close finish or crashing finish.
Never give up attitudes.
Yes.
Come on.
It was awesome. So congratulations to Brad Keselowski. I still can't believe he won. That's crazy.
I know it. It's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't even think he really realized he won it yet.
So yeah, great strategy from them, and again, congratulations to Team Penske and Brad Keselowski. But before we go, I want to give a shout out to Brad Anderson for supporting us on Patreon. And if you want us to shout out your name at the end, there's a Patreon link down below. And so can't wait for the Xfinity Series race review coming up tomorrow night.
If it's anything like the night's race, I can't wait.
Can't wait for it. So subscribe if you don't want to miss that, and we'll see you next time on Side Draft.